this video, we are going to see how to save new Slack messages to Airtable automatically. So let's say that you're using Slack as a social messaging app and you want that every time a new message is posted by any of your team member, then that particular message should be stored in your Airtable sheet. Now, how can that be done? For this, you will have to integrate the two applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. So here your trigger application would be Slack and your action application would be Airtable. Now, how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab, sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. So now I'm going to click on sign in, and as I do that, here we have reached all applications page. Let's click on access now for Pabbly Connect, as we are doing this integration using Pabbly Connect software. Now on the right hand side, you can see a tab, create workflow. Let's click on this, and a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. So here my objective is to save new Slack messages that are discussed within the team to Airtable automatically. I'm going to click on create, and as I do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens, action says do this. Basically, action here is the response of our trigger application. Now, as per this integration, my trigger application would be Slack, which is a social messaging app. Let's click on this. And here the trigger event would be new message. Let's click on this. So on the right hand side, you can see it is written, this trigger will check for new data in every 10 minutes, which basically means that this trigger application has a polling time of 10 minutes. So the workflow is going to run after every 10 minutes to fetch for new data. Now I'm going to click on connect. As I do that, here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with a Slack account. I'm going to click on add new connection and connect with Slack. So here we have to enter the token type. So I'm going to select user. Why? Because when you're sending a message, it may or may not contain URLs or images. That is why it is asked to use user. I'm going to click on save. As I do that, here Pabbly Connect is requesting permission to access the Pabbly Slack workspace. Let's click on allow. And here we can see that authorization has been successful, which basically means that Slack is now connected with Pabbly Connect. So once that is done, here we have to select the channel. Before I do that, I'm going to take you to my Slack account. So these are the workspaces. So these are the various channels, and I have recently created a channel. The name is Airtable Slack. And now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, and I'm going to select this channel, Airtable Slack. Let's click on this. Click on save and send test request, and as I do that, here we have received a response. So this is blank response because there has been no message. Now what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to take you back to Slack, and here I'm going to write a message. So let's say my message is, hello team, we have a meeting at Taj tomorrow at 11 AM. Now as I have posted this, I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect. And here I'm going to again click on save and send test request. So here you can see that we have received the response. So this is the text that has been sent on my Slack channel. Now what all we have received here? So we have received the user ID. Then we have received the text. Then this is the team, client message ID, etc. Now I haven't received the user details. So for this, I'm going to choose my action application again as Slack. Let's click on this. And this time the action event here would be to get user by ID. Let's click on this, click on connect. As I do that, we have to connect with the Slack account again. I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. Now here we are asked to map the user ID. How do I do that? As soon as I click on this, it is going to show me the previous step, and this here is the user ID. Now this process is known as mapping. Why is mapping important? Because if I had written this manually, then every time the workflow would have run, it would have only taken the manually written data into consideration, and it would have never taken the new data. So that is why mapping is important. Now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And as I do that, here we can see this is the username. Then we have the real name. And as I take you down, here we have got the email address of the person. So once we have received this, my next objective is that this information should be set in my Airtable records. So I'm going to add another action application, which is Airtable. Let's click on this. And the action event here would be to create a record. Let's click on connect. Here again, Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Airtable account. I'm going to click on add new connection. Now to set up this connection, we need this API key. To receive this API key, first we have to log into our Airtable account, and then we have the hyperlink here. As I click on this, here I have the API key. So I had already logged into my Airtable account. Now I'm going to copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste this over here. Once done, let's click on save. So once Airtable and Pabbly Connect are connected, now we have to fill in this information. So the base ID and table ID, how do we do this? So for this, I'm first going to take you to my Airtable account. So this is my Airtable account. These are the various workspaces. Within these workspaces, I have got different bases, and within these bases, we have got multiple tables. So I already have created a base which is Slack details. As I click on this, here you can see this is the name of the base. Then we have the table. We have got the following column fields: username, email address, message, and then we have a field known as created. How did I create this? So as I click on this plus icon and as I take you down, so here we have the name of the field which is created time, and then I can name it as created. This is going to inculcate the date and time of the data inculcated in the sheet. So every time a response is added here, it is going to note down the date and time. So I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, and here I'm going to select the base ID which is Slack details. Let's click on this. Here you can see that it has already captured the table ID. Now comes the username. So I'm going to click on this and map the information. How do I do that? I'll go to step 2, and this here is the username. Then we have the email address. So again, I'm going to click on this, go to step 2, and I'm going to look for the email address. And finally, we have the message. For this, I'm going to go to step 1, and this here is the message. Now, do you want to enable typecasting? So I have mentioned false. You can mention true as well. Now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And here we can see that we have received the API response, which basically says that now this information should have become a part of my Airtable account. So let's go to our Airtable, and yes, we have got the information. Now we also need to check this in real time. As of now, my integration is successful. So I'm going to go back to Slack, and here I'm going to write another message. Hello team, we are happy to announce that we are going to go up for a week. That's a nice message. And as I click on enter, then here we can see that it has been sent on my Slack. And now as per Pabbly Connect, within 10 minutes, this message should be reached and received on my Airtable record. So now we are going to wait for 10 minutes. Now let me take you to my Airtable account, and yes, here we can see that we have received the response which says that this is the message. That hello team, we are happy to announce that we are going to go up for a week. So this basically means that our integration process is a complete success. Now let's check the process. So here our trigger application was Slack, where the event was new message. Our action application first was again Slack, where we had to get the user details. So the event was get user by ID. And our final action application was Airtable, where we had created a record. I hope that you are absolutely clear with this process. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. If in case you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us. Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website, which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group. If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.